Hello there. We have a number of theorems and corollaries to talk about. A corollary is like a small theorem, so you see a word like that. But we're going to actually apply properties to isosceles triangles and equilateral triangles. An isosceles triangle is a triangle where two sides are congruent. They're called the legs, the bottom, like in this particular case right here. These are the legs of the triangle. That's called the base of the triangle. We have a vertex angle and we have what's called base angles. All right, so here's what we're going to say. We're going to say the two sides of a triangle are congruent. If two sides are congruent, then the angles opposite those sides are congruent. So if these two sides are congruent, then the base angles will also be congruent. So in an isosceles triangle, you have two things that happen. You've got the two legs are always congruent, and the two base angles are always congruent. So that's going to open us up some more problems that we'll be able to solve because of that. We also have the converse of that. So if the base angles are congruent, then we can automatically say that the sides are congruent. So that's basically the converse. And one more postulate here, or one more theorem. It basically says that if a line bisects the vertex angle of an isosceles triangle, so we draw a dotted line straight down through that angle C, then the line is perpendicular to the base. Then we will have perpendicular to the base, and we're also going to have two congruent sort of mini segments, if you will. So AD and BD would be congruent. And then two corollaries come from this. Let's extend this to an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle is one in which all three sides are the same length. They're all congruent. So if a triangle is equilateral, then the triangle is also equiangular, meaning all three angles are congruent. And we'll do the converse of that. If a triangle is equiangular, all three angles congruent, then all three sides would be congruent as well. So we'll take a look at a few examples of those properties here next.